Let's continue this conversation with NBC News political reporter Megan Brand. Megan, good morning. So let's start on Netanyahu's visit to Washington today. We mentioned this, but no other world leader has visited the president at the White House more than the Israeli prime minister. But this is coming at a time right now where there is this growing friction between them because the president has been critical of Israel's assault on Lebanon. We're also seeing U.S. public support for Israel continue to fall. Tell us about that and what's at stake today.
Yeah, good morning. So we learned a little bit more about what to expect with this meeting between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu today. A White House official told NBC that besides the two leaders discussing the conflict in Iran, they would also discuss the framework agreement for peace in Lebanon, as well as the Abraham Accords. Remember, last week as well, President Trump had said that in order for him to approve a civil nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia, that Saudi Arabia would have to normalize relations with Israel through the Abraham Accords. Now, as you mentioned, there's been a little bit of tension between these two leaders, though overall it's still a very close alliance. So yesterday, reporters asked President Trump about Prime Minister Netanyahu's visit to the U.S., and President Trump had said that the two leaders have a little difference in terms of the conflict with Iran, but that they're pretty close. But one area of disagreement, for example, is the U.S.'s decision to sell F-35 jets to Turkey. That's something that Prime Minister Netanyahu has opposed, but President Trump yesterday told reporters that nobody tells me what we should be selling or not. And, you know, again, just to take a step back here, this also comes as there is no indication that the war could potentially be coming to an end soon. This month, the U.S. conducted nearly 2 weeks of consecutive strikes on Iran. Iran, meanwhile, has targeted ships in the area as well as U.S. targets, and there are also concerns about potential the rising toll as well and potential future deaths after 4 U.S. service members were killed just this month, guys.
Megan, let's get to some other political news. We got a health update from Kentucky's Republican Senator Mitch McConnell. He's been in the hospital in a rehab center for more than a month. What are we learning?
Yeah, we got another statement from Senator McConnell's office yesterday, and we learned that he is still getting physical therapy and that he has not yet been cleared to return to the office. You can see that there was a new picture that was released as well. And now this is the second time that we've heard from Senator McConnell since he was hospitalized last month. And Senator McConnell had said that he's still doing intense physical therapy, and he noted that he won't be able to make it to an annual picnic that is being held in Kentucky this weekend. He thanked people for their well wishes and said that he looks forward to returning to Kentucky and to the Senate soon. Now, also in that statement that was released by his office, we also heard from the Office of the Attending Physician, which also said that the senator was not yet cleared to return to the office. The Office of the Attending Physician said that Senator McConnell has multiple physical therapy sessions each day in order to help him rebuild strength and also minimize the risk of future falls. The office also said that the fact that the senator had polio when he was a child is also a significant factor in how his mobility is doing right now, guys, as well.
Megan, one other piece of news we want to ask you about. It looks like the president is escalating his fight to change mail-in voting ahead of those midterms. What's he asking from the Supreme Court, and what does these changes mean for voters?
Yeah, so President Trump is now asking the Supreme Court to allow him to move forward with implementing an executive order that would give the federal government a lot more control over mail-in ballots. That executive order had directed the federal government to create these federal lists of voters and then to only allow mail-in ballots to be sent to those voters on those lists. So mail-in ballots is something that President Trump has long criticized, including yesterday during a rally in Michigan. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Hopefully there will be no mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt, except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel. If you're in the military, you're far away, absolutely. If you have to go someplace, absolutely. But mail-in ballots have proven to be a disaster.
Now, I do want to note that there is no evidence that mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt or lead to widespread voter fraud, but they've repeatedly been a target for President Trump. And so now the president wants the Supreme Court to weigh in soon in order for them to be able to implement this executive order before the midterms, because the midterms are right around the corner, guys.
All right, Megan, thank you so much.